Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, and share, and give a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and pass it along if you believe someone else will be helped by it. I'd appreciate that. You know, Impulse Chosen Ones Awakened, you are going to experience forgetting things that you're supposed to remember and remembering things that you pretty much forgot. You've put them behind you. And we're talking about that job you got fired by or from. A lot of you here, I've been here 5 years. Oh, before I start the video of the topic, remembering what you forgot and forgetting what you remember. The mics, all of you all subscribers that have just dealt with it and suffered through it, I appreciate each and every one of you all. And the ones who have chimed in on comments, it were not bashful enough to let me know. You weren't mean. You were matter of fact. Some of you guys are just, just constantly emphasizing, check your volume, check your volume. And I appreciate every one of you all for, thinking enough to say what a lot of us want to say, but sometimes we don't want to offend. But if there's anything you have issue with the sound or, the quality or anything in that respects, let me know, because if you don't let me know, I don't know. Because I've generally play my videos after I record them. I don't do cuts, snippets. I don't do that from day one. I've never edited any of my videos. And to those who do, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I just don't. And so I thank you for that. And I found out what it was. It's connected to my phone now, which show you. It's the DJI transmitter for the mics. I bought, and I might have mentioned this before, but I want to mention it again just to emphasize, because I do appreciate it. I bought this because I have a cover, a waterproof cover. And if the cover wasn't on, I could just push the transmitter right inside of it. And at one time I thought that wasn't a problem because I used the AV cord. But I figured, man, on my gimbal, I can't travel with this. It's a lot of moving parts. So I saw these on Amazon, and what it does, it allows you to push this into, this is a Samsung, and it's a Samsung female and male, and it allows you to get that extra amount of space, so you don't have to take your case off and on. But this was not the problem. There is one of these that comes with the DJI. This is for an iPhone. Oh, sorry. This is for an iPhone here. And I have the one for my Galaxy. And what this does is it has contacts on the back. Somehow or another, these contacts, all four of them were not seated, and that was the problem. So I appreciate your patience for hanging in there with me, guys. So hopefully the volume is crisp. I don't have the wind baffles on inside, and I've checked them after, so I'm pretty sure that everything is a go. So let me know if it's not. So back to the video. We forget what we should remember in many cases. Not to say it's good or bad, but it happens. We've been through a lot. And the things that we remember, we've forgotten about. We've gone our way. We're healing. We're doing our thing. That job I was talking about, you got fired from it. A lot of times, things and experiences in life right now, financial woes. With my job, $100,000 job, I lost for an allegation that never happened. I was still doing my landscape excavation on the side. So thank God for having that side hustle, or it was my primary hustle, and it's always been my primary hustle. Entrepreneurship is the way to go, guys. You Impulse Chosen Ones, a lot of us are telling you emphatically, God has brought you to this point. He wants you to be in control of your own destiny. Clocking in, walking on eggshells, having to play face, having to pretend that you're playing in the reindeer games. You don't go to the employee parties, freak offs, pretty much what a lot of them are. Depends on how big of an executive type party it is. They're just down low freak offs. And so we don't get involved in that stuff. Go to work, come home. We do the very minimum when it comes to the interaction outside of the workplace, because we keep that separate. We have families which we're engaged with. We put our time into our family and our friends and our loved ones. Not to say that we are indifferent to our coworkers. A lot of us empaths, we just choose to stay in our own lane, dance to our own music, if you will. For that, you're not going to be liked. You're not going to fit the mold. And for that reason, well, for many other reasons, it's your aura, it's your energy, it is the light that's on you. You can keep going on and on and on, and you never run out of attributes that you have. That narcissist, or in many cases, in those positions of authority, when you go into that gas chamber of an employment, they are in strategic positions so they can monitor. Accept, reject. They know whether you're going to make the cut probably a week in. But you're just, I don't know, you're just a pinata, I guess, in some respects, for the time and the duration that you're there. Everybody's taking a swing at you, seeing if they can knock some candy out of you. And so you forget about these things. You're going on, you're healing. We're doing our best to do what we can with the life we have in front of us. And it's a beautiful life, by the way. We're out of that fog. But you can look back. These thoughts will come. And I know they've come for many of you all. If they have, comment. I would love to hear your experiences. So these thoughts will come for me. Example, I can pretty much, I don't want to say name, but the physical descriptions and the people's individuals' faces I am seeing often as I'm going about my day, just doing different things that are totally unrelated to that workplace that I got fired from. And these faces will pop up. And this is God showing me, helping me to put more and more closure to this situation. Although I'm not even thinking about this, by the way. I'm telling you guys, if you're getting these thoughts of images of people who you know or you didn't know, what God is doing is lining up all the players in the smear, all the players in your demise. Because how he's doing that, there are just images and visions of interactions throughout your course at the workplace, and specific interactions, whereas they just were out of place. People who would come up and talk to you, who despised you normally, who were standoffs normally. They would sit at the break room table with you and have a full-on conversation. But the conversation, if you look back, it began to be a full-on conversation, but they would abruptly get up and go. That was designed for only to gain intel and leverage that intel to see what your demeanor was. See if you knew you were being set up and about to get fired and crucified. You notice every time there is about to be some kind of slaying of the lamb, they take secret counsel. There's always secret counsel that precedes the slaying, such as cowards, such as the way cowards do. They won't do anything openly. And so their dirty little secrets or plots that they're forming against the victim, they go behind closed doors and they devise what their plan is. But the thing is, that individual, like I just said, who came to the break room table and began to talk to you, who was normally standoffish, and matter of fact, you caught him several times giving you the evil eye. On this particular day, it's like he's been your friend forever. But you being an empath, you go along in a cordial fashion because you ain't got that hostility. You don't have offense against him. You don't, or her. You don't have any animosity or grudges. And so you're reciprocating just a cordial interaction. And in many cases, your heart leaps for joy a little bit subconsciously inside of you, because what empaths tend to do when we sense that a person has no malice against us, we're happy for the whole situation. We don't want chaos. We hate that people feel the way they do about us. That is how strong our empathy is for these jackasses. They can hate us without a cause, and we can still love them on purpose, because we don't sit around and harbor ill feelings for people. We don't resonate. We don't see, it's like this. That's beneath us, if I can say that. And there's no ego tripping going on here. Empaths, chosen ones, own it. We vibrate at a level that is beneath us. That is beneath us. We are resonating, vibrating at a level that is always levitating and, just going up. And the people around us, we want them to experience that same vibration. We give off that, and we not only give it off, we're excited and elated that someone else is vibrating high. That's why when we sense, because we can sense not only that someone is going through something, in a lot of cases, we can sense what they're going through. Almost like prophet type intuition. Don't get too carried away, guys. I'm not going that deep. Although if that was something that was attributed to me and God gave it to me, I would definitely be popping it. But being a chosen one and an empath, that's a power in and of itself. So when these people are doing this, and when you got fired, you didn't know the totality and you didn't know the depth and how deep that rabbit hole went. But what God is doing, not only is he showing you these visions and these images of these people's faith, because that's a closure that you're not even asking for, but God is putting those pieces to the puzzle, because what he's doing is going forward. He knows that you're going to cross paths with these individuals, and he's preparing you on how to carry yourself. You see that? He is giving you the cheat sheet. He's preparing you, because you got to understand, when they see you, they're anticipating an interaction with you. And when they interact with you, it is for no other reason than to temperature check you, heat check you, see how down and bad you're doing. They want to get the update so they can take it back. Less is best. But if you're doing good, you don't have to tell them what you're doing. You don't have to tell them where you're doing it. Just say, I'm doing very well. That was a favor in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise. You can just leave it at that. That was a blessing in disguise. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Take care of yourself. See, we're still cordial. And in saying take care of yourself, that's on them. Take care of yourself or you don't. And it's nice to see you again and knowing who you are is what you're saying. Nice to see you again in a way that I didn't know you were, but now I know. So when you start having these visions and you start seeing these things and God shows you the faces of these people, that is why he's showing you their faces, because he's preparing you how to cope, how to coexist in and around these people. Sometimes they'll be at a sporting event, like I've seen a couple of sporting events with my children, and they were there pretending to support their kids. Can't stay off their phone. It's all about them, you know. So I want you guys to just take some of this stuff that I've told you and just be forewarned that don't buy into the fact that you think that you're to the point where you just can't let this thing go. It's not all about that. Whenever thoughts come to you, don't kick against them. Just let it flow through you. And then after you have all things checked off, you know whether this is something that you're deliberately doing or this is just something that happened to you out of the blue, which is not out of the blue. God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't do no out of the blue. This is just divine interactions with these thoughts. So when you go forward and you meet these people, you're going to know. You're going to know ahead of time. I've told you before, we have a bird's eye view and we see everything. Even things that catch us off guard, it's not long after that we're able to get our bearings about ourselves. Because before it didn't make sense, but we were kind of clueless as to why it didn't make sense. Almost everything an awakened empath, if not all things an empath, chosen ones awakened, go through makes perfect sense. That being said, bless.